Now to my exclusive interview with former Supreme Court Justice Sandra O'Connor. She was in New York yesterday to promote her latest passion, teaching civics to students with high-tech computer games. We're going to have much more on that later in the show, but we took the chance to hear what the court's first female justice thinks about Elena Kagan, President Obama's latest pick for the high court, also the hot controversy over immigration in O'Connor's home state of Arizona. But I began by asking Justice O'Connor if she has any advice for Kagan.
Has also spoken movingly about
None. She doesn't need advice, but just she'll have to go through the process of the Senate Judiciary Committee hearings, and I don't care who you are, it's a difficult, unpleasant experience for the nominee.
At her confirmation hearings, O'Connor, who had been a judge, lawyer, and legislator, faced tough questions on issues like abortion. Elena Kagan's critics point to her slim paper trail and no experience as a judge. Does it matter if someone hasn't been a judge before they go to the Supreme Court?
I don't think it does. We've had at least a third of the justices over time were never a judge. I think it's fine, just fine.
And from what you've seen of Elena Kagan, I know you know her a little bit. Do you think she'll be confirmed?
I would think so. She seems to be very well qualified academically.
One issue a Justice Kagan would almost certainly face if confirmed, that controversial new immigration law in O'Connor's home state, Arizona. It has sparked protest. Supporters say it helps fight illegal immigration. Opponents call it unconstitutional racial profiling. Although O'Connor was wary about weighing in, it's clear she has real concerns.
It's been enacted, and I think what we have to look at now is, what does Arizona do now? How do we put a good step forward to show that Arizona is not, as a whole, a biased state, and that we appreciate and respect the Hispanic population in our state very much. They've been part of us since long before we became a state. And I think as a state we respect and admire very much our Hispanic population.
Do you think the law is constitutional?
I'm not going to weigh in on that. I'm sure sections of it will be tested.
It's time to put.
Then there's that controversy pitting the president against the Supreme Court at the State of the Union when President Obama chastised a court ruling, prompting audible grumbling from Justice Alito and a rebuke from Chief Justice Roberts.
The image of having the members of one branch of government standing up, literally surrounding the Supreme Court, cheering and hollering, while the court, according to the requirements of protocol, has to sit there expressionless, I think is very troubling.
A feeling O'Connor appeared to share.
You have to sit there. You can clap when the president enters. You can clap when the president leaves. And in between, you keep your hands in your lap and keep your face composed. And so it's a strange situation. And given an option, I'd prefer not to be there.
Well, you'd have an option, don't you?
If all your colleagues think the court should go, then you're probably going to go. If the members of the court as a group sort of decided we really think we might as well not go, then I think most would avoid it.
Robin, it seems like a real critical mass is developing against these justices going there and sitting there like potted plants during the State of the Union.
It is very uncomfortable, but Kagan got an unlikely little boost from somebody in the Supreme Court.
Not only Justice O'Connor said she thinks she'll be confirmed and says that not being a judge doesn't matter, Justice Scalia, who's likely to be a conservative adversary if Kagan gets confirmed, pointed out that everybody on the bench now is a judge. So he went on to say, I'm happy to see that this latest nominee is not a federal judge and not a judge at all. Of course, Kagan has gotten some criticism from some senators because she's not a judge, but there you've got Justice Scalia saying, well, that could be a good thing.
Yeah, and of course, in the past, there have been others who have been justices that were not a judge.
Former Chief Justice Rehnquist.
Yeah.